See if anybody's around. There we go. See if anybody's around. Call it a Rothchild after party. Late day. See if anybody's around for the fray. Let's share this out. I think I shouldn't share it. Share it like I got something to talk about. I didn't talk about it. It's like, all right, the Rothschilds run the world. What you want? They run the world. Come on, Rothschilds run the world. Okay. Why you vote? I'm just gonna read the comments. Let people fuss at me if they want to. Tell them not to vote. Saying don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Rothschilds run the world. They decide who comes, who goes, who leaves, who stays. Doesn't really matter who you put in office. We got serious changes to make. We got serious problems. They don't care who writes your laws. Oh, Justin's in the house. What's going on? Brother Forrest is in the house. Long time. Hola. ¿Cómo está? Amigo, compadre. That's about all I got. That's about it, brother. That's about it. I can ask a few things in Spanish. It's been a while since I hablo español. Getting my palabras. Un poquito palabras. In muy local America. That's about it. Hang on, let me bring the comments up so I can see what y'all was saying. I called it an after party. I was blown away. I was just looking at Rothchild stuff all day today. I know y'all, I didn't leave y'all alone. I knew I was gonna lose some friends today. I think I only lost one. That's weird. I just knew I was gonna lose a whole bunch of friends today. I didn't lose a bunch of friends. I only lost one. I figured I was gonna lose a whole bunch today. All right. Okay. And I like the background music. Although late day, it's up to y'all. I don't want to hear no. I don't like it. Let me turn it down. Way down. See if I don't get any complaints on the background music. Let me see if I right about there. All right. Hey, what's going on, Amy? I love fellow Latin co-workers. Yeah, I do too. Latin food is delicious and nutritious for us, ain't it? Latin people, good people, loving people. Cousins from down south. It's that brother Justin. Did you get my pic I tagged you in? Oh my Lord. With some okra. Why do people do that? What is wrong with y'all? Hold on, let me see if anybody's up this late on YouTube. See if YouTube is asleep. I don't get it. Y'all like attacking people with okra. Y'all just some okra thug life. Drive-by shooting nutty people. All right, let me get, I gotta sign back into YouTube. No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Between you and Beaufort, y'all trying to get people to eat okra. Do y'all get money from okra? Like, where do y'all even get all these pictures from? I need to upgrade at YouTube. Like, who even has that many pictures of okra? I don't get y'all. Who's just sitting around taking pictures of some okra? It's just like I don't take pictures of my snot. I'm like congested now. This is the worst time on the planet. Worst time of the year to be me. My allergies are acting up. Green stuff coming all out my nose. I can barely talk. I figured I'd do an after talk, but I don't take pictures of my snot. Why take pictures? Brother Rob, what's going on YouTube? Yeah, it's just the late day thing. Done with the Rothchild and Rockefeller. Did my research. I ain't ever voting again. I ain't ever go voting again. What did we find out today? So we found it's not just that those particular countries up there don't have Rothschild banks, but there's only 2 countries that don't have central banking at all. Man, hell of a day. Hell of a day. People still want to go vote. Go for it. Vote, vote, vote. Vote all you want. They care not who writes your laws. They own all the people who need the currency. They own all of them. Ain't nobody fighting a deep state, otherwise they'd be dead state. That would be their status. They'd be in a dead state if they were fighting a deep state. Nobody's fighting the deep state. It's time to grow up. Time to just let it go. This is what we got. It's the best we got. George Carlin said, it ain't getting any better. Well, hopefully it'll get better. I don't know what I'm saying. Ain't getting any better. I was gonna say it's pretty damn bad. Ceviche, yes. Ceviche. No, I like, what's my favorite force is, what is it called? It's the one with, you got eggs and refried beans. What's that called? Huevos rancheros. I love me some huevos rancheros. I don't know why y'all want to keep Spanish people out. Those people make such good food. They make such good food. And besides, I don't know why y'all playing, like the comedian said. Like, hey, y'all ain't gonna pick your own strawberries. Don't even play. You ain't gonna wash your own car. You're Americans. You're lazy. You're privileged. Stop it. You ain't gonna do any of that yard work. All your kids are too lazy. Y'all didn't raise any kids to do that. We were raised to do that, but y'all didn't. They ain't breaking no leaves. They ain't cleaning up your yard. They ain't gonna paint your house. They ain't gonna do any of that. So like, we can stop. We can stop with the anti-immigrant stuff and embrace our Southern brothers and sisters. Besides, they went fine. They ain't got me on the immigrant stuff because listen, Latin women, I'm sorry. I mean, all women, fine women, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to get in trouble or anything. I'm just simply saying, women, you got the wrong person. You want to say, hey, we need to stop the immigrants from coming in the country. You got the wrong brother. Certain countries, listen, I'm not that, what's that guy's name? It's that racist black dude. Aborigines. What's his name? Aborigine women. The comedian ain't funny at all. Ain't funny no more. He does the Daily Show. Nah, he said he don't like Aborigine women. Yeah, y'all not gonna get me on the immigrant stuff. I'm fine with immigrants. I have no problem with immigrants. Oh Lord, I'm both fine. Who let him in here? Those damn chitlins and okra. Oh my gosh! Don't give him any ideas. He'll come up with a chitlin and okra picture. Goodness, the story of chitlins. Let's not even go there, Beaufort. Let's just not even go there. But there's probably some good analogies in that. The chitlins, they used to give the rest of the hog to the slaves, and the slaves figure out how to make food with it, with the intestines. In comes chitlins, the worst thing you could eat. But it was normalized, and so they made it delicious. Put hot sauce on it, some seasoning, eating pig intestines. And here, 300 years later, and everybody eating them like... They call them chitterlings. Yeah, do you see that, Beaufort? They eat chitterlings now. They put them on ice. They eat slave food. Y'all know it's slave food. I think it's a whole lot of slaves right now, just happy in heaven, wherever they are. Like, you finally got y'all. Y'all eating chitterlings on ice in a wine glass. But yeah, but there's a good analogy there, probably a good analogy, just thinking about how things can be normalized, so easily normalized. And then they come on back around. Oh, you picking your own strawberries for us? Okay, all right, that's good. Hey, get it, brother, get it. The strawberries in the dirty dozen. Strawberries are in season. They're in the dirty dozen. I don't have a patch. I used to have a patch. Now I got a bunch of seedlings I need to put in the ground. I got about 10 of them. They already got strawberries on them, but I'm so behind. What's up, Janie? Nothing's up at all. This kind of like an after party. I was thinking about the Rothschilds today, how the central banking runs the world. Doesn't really matter in any country, like those 9 countries at the top right there. There's no purpose if you are in those 9 countries, you can try voting. Voting might actually work. It might help to. You might actually change like the color of the bubble gum in the bubble gum machine at the White House or wherever your Capitol building is, whatever it's called. But if your country is not in that list of 9 countries, voting is useless. You can hang up the representative government. It is a single point of failure, and whoever owns the bank owns those people. Hang it up. They didn't figure that out back in the 1800s and set all that up. And here we are today. Hello, Evelyn. Good afternoon, Serge. How you doing? Well done, sir. Cheryl. Oh, happy day. Janie, it's always a happy day. It's always a happy day. You're on 2 feet, under your own steam, not 6 feet under. Every day is a happy day. Every day is a happy day. And every day is a good day to sit back and laugh at silly people. Silly people just trying to change the world. Nah, you ain't changing the world, not changing nothing. You still voting for the Rothchild puppets. They even said it. Let me see. No garden here in the desert. That's okay, Janie. Where are you at? You don't have to be. You can have a garden in the desert. I know these people. Where are they? Arizona. They got this aquaponic greenhouse. In fact, they have a YouTube channel. Actually, what's the name of that YouTube channel? Desert something. And they're growing in the desert. There's another guy I was watching a little while ago. He built a jalapeno in the desert. So you can do a jalapeno in the desert. You can put a greenhouse on the side of with an earth inside, and the air stays cool. So the air stays, and you put the two together, put an aquaponic jalapeno in the desert. You can grow your own food. The temperature will stay cool from the 50-degree ground temperature, and all the water keeps getting reclaimed by the aquaponic system. All the water doesn't evaporate. It's just reclaimed from the condensation on the glass. You can still do a garden down there. Just what exactly does Rothchild look like? Does a Rothchild look like? Did I spell that right? I did. Okay. Let me see. Well, a Rothchild? I can show you pictures of them. Although I think the ones that are alive today, you're probably not gonna. They probably hide. I think that they're not very well known. They own some of the biggest corporations. Because the first Rothschild, whatever his name was, I forgot already. Ethan, somebody like that. He set up all his kids in banking around the world, in all the major nations. Began to print their money, and now they own the banking institutions, and anywhere that they own the big corporations that run most of the world anyway. So it's hundreds of them, and I think their net worth is like $1 trillion or something beyond $1 trillion. So their influence runs everything. And growing up, wealthy people I knew, they didn't want anybody to know they were wealthy. Like the ones who were pretending to be wealthy, they want everybody to know. They drove a nice car, lived in a big house, had rocks and rings and gold and jewels everywhere, showing off. But the ones with the real wealth, never know who they were. The ones with the real wealth, they always hid. So I think if you ran into a Rockefeller nowadays, you probably wouldn't know. It's not most of them, because they're probably hiding. Mojave Desert, too much work, home recovering from an accident. Okay, well, I hope you feel better, sis. That's crazy. Good afternoon, Carolyn. Jalapeno. No, jalapenos. And some I's in there. They got too many E's. Hopefully you have a speed. What's going on, Ian? Broken sternum, wrist, and 4 vertebrae. Oh my goodness. Yeah, James. This is where I don't. This is when I don't. I say you have a doctor. I'm not big on the medical industry nowadays, but when you go through something traumatic, they will save your life. There's no question about that. They're good at fixing broken bodies. Doctors suck at health and nutrition. They suck at keeping you healthy, but they'll fix the broken body. So I tell people, don't be stupid. You should see your doctor when it comes to things like car accident. Doctor will save your life. Anybody, well, let me see, hold on, wait. Blessed for sure. Okay, good to hear. There's a blonde woman that married into the Rothschild family. One or more visible faces from the family media. Okay. Well, Amy, I thought that they didn't let people marry them. I thought that they were pretty locked into the old standard of make psychopathic children, and keep marrying your cousins, keep the bloodlines of the Anunnaki. That's what they said. Somebody said that their bloodlines were going back to the Anunnaki, and they didn't want to marry outside of their family. But I guess every now and then you get a rogue. Like we got the Amish folks around here. Every now and then they're like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't. John Tunstall doesn't want to marry Mary Tunstall, and so they decide that they want to go marry Mary Jackson, I guess, and they leave the compound. So people do that. They absolutely do that. Hey, Brenda, what's going on? I don't really have anything to talk about. I'm just kind of blown away. It's a late day, just see if anybody was hanging out late, and kind of blown away by this Rothchild thing. You think I was anti-vote? You think I was anti-vote 24 hours ago? Some people, they can't even be my friends. They're like, they can't be your friend because you say I'm not supposed to vote. Oh, you think I was anti-vote 24 hours ago? You don't want to talk to me now. It's just useless. It is completely a puppet show. 1,000,000,000%. That's why this is why people fill my inbox with all this Rothchild stuff. And I just get a chance to kind of peek at things every now and then. But now I finally looked at it. Ooh, it's ugly. It's just ugly. I mean, it's just matrix upon matrix upon onion layer upon onion layer. They decided all, from the big pharmaceutical companies to the big chemical companies to the big medical companies to the big fast food companies to the big banks that own them. It's hanging up. Hang it up. Yeah, our chances are we completely walk away from the system, or we put on yellow vests, or y'all follow Brother John and get some cannons or something. That's it. That's it. Everybody's beholden. And actually, there was a good quote I was looking at a minute ago. Everybody's beholden to these people. These people, they in every generation, they dig in deeper. Every generation, y'all keep voting. They just keep digging in deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Let me show you this. Let me show this to you. Oh man, this is horrible. I shouldn't be on here. I am so congested right now. All of this pollen. Look at this. Wait a minute, how come it's not going down? Because I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Let me see. And this is another Rothchild quote. It says, the few who understand the system will either be so interested from its profits or so dependent on its favors that there will be no option from that class. And so if you're so invested in the profit, you're so invested in your retirement, you're so invested in the power of having a violence-based system that steals from each other, steals from your neighbor, financial violence, you're making too much money. You don't want to turn on your system. You don't want to turn on the system. Or the other people are so dependent on it for water, food, and life, they won't turn on it either. They're going to hang right in there, because they can't turn on it. So the very few people in the middle, they're not really dependent on it. Like me, I'm not dependent. I use it. I'm not really dependent on it. I'm waiting to go off grid anytime. I got a phone call this afternoon. And I'm thinking, damn it, that might be my ticket. Next time as soon as I get my ticket off grid, I'm gone. So there are a few who I think have the ability to stand up to it. But if you are so low on the class structure, you have no choice but to be a Rothschild lover. And once you get high up, you don't want to turn on it, because now your retirement is based on the kids, and you built a whole life as dependency on this slave-like banking society they built up. Fighting over gold. That's what they do for us. They're fighting over gold. They're fighting over wealth, fighting over gold coins, fighting over everything that Jesus told them they shouldn't have nothing to do with. Let me see. Transplanted raspberries a few days ago too. Ooh, go on, Brenda. I have like one triflant raspberry plant. That's it. I got one triflant one. I got to get it in the ground. I put in a blueberry bush last year. I'm trying to get that one to get off the ground. She's struggling this year. I expected more from her. It doesn't. She's not looking too great. But we're only starting to get a flush of leaves out there. So maybe Should look better later on. I got to get a little more acid in that ground. Okay, I got a whole pile of wood chips in my garden. I got to get spread around. I'm 6 feet tall. I got to get my kids out there playing video games. I got to get them out there spreading. Get some acidity, because berries like acidity. How about those tornadoes in Oklahoma? I didn't see those, Janie. Is that normal? Like, doesn't Oklahoma normally get tornadoes, or like they're crazy nados, they're little wild nados? Is that climate change doing that? What's doing that? What does that do? That's that weather, that's that HARP technology people say doesn't exist. Is that geoengineering that actually doesn't exist? When was that? 1960s or 70s, where all the nations came together and said they refused to use geoengineering against other populations, but they were okay to use them against their own population. Might be some of that. I think we should all move to one of those 9 countries. Well, sure, if we did that, we wouldn't actually have any control to stop what's going to happen to those 9 countries. Like, while we live in the nations now that are going to be put together to invade them or destroy them or do some economic hitman type stuff like they try to do with Venezuela, our only way to stop them is from these nations. I think we got to fix the world, so we're kind of beholden to where we are. I'm gonna freeze at the field tomorrow. What's going on at the field tomorrow, Brenda? Hey, what's going on, Mariette? Mariette she was awesome. You were awesome on that show. She was on that Tinfoil Hat podcast. Awesome. Went on there to talk about the genocide in Armenia, and her second one was the Julian Assange. Great talk. I posted it. Flooding in Iowa. Okay. All right. Well, messing with that geoengineering. I know a little bit about it. Weirdly, they still have marriages sometimes. I don't know. I had a friend whose grandma married into the Rothchild family. Is that right? But the one who married my friend's grandma got in trouble with his family for the last marriage. Marriage didn't last. Yeah, well, I think they say, well, you know what? Well, if you married a Rothschild, who was it? Oprah. I think she was the one who did that little statistic that showed that the more you spend on your wedding, the quicker your divorce will come, the shorter your marriage will last. That doesn't surprise me. They'll get theirs. Yeah, Janie, they always do in the end. Yeah, everybody gets theirs in the end. Everybody gets theirs. If you get away from nothing, karma might be slow, but she will always show up. More Oklahoma elementary flattened kids in the basement of school drowned. Sad. Oh my goodness. What in the heck are kids doing in a school basement and they drown? They went in the basement because of the tornado? How in the hell? You know what, Janie? So I don't know anything about it. All I'm simply going to say is the teachers better drown first. They better drown first. If your job to look out for kids and they try to hide from a tornado, oh my goodness, no. And the teachers make it and the kids drown, that equation does not work. Doesn't work in my head. I'm breaking up. All right, well, I don't know what's going on. They closed all the schools in Tulsa, Oklahoma for one day. This week, 100 tornadoes predicted. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't watch American news, so I really don't know what's going on unless the foreigners are talking about it. I have no idea what's happening. What's going on, Jim and James? I have friends in America. Where are you at right now, Janie? Oh, Armenia. I don't know. I don't think I know anybody in Armenia. I know people from Armenia. She was talking about the Armenian genocide. You know, that's something that very few people know about. And I think the Young Turks get in trouble because their name is nicknamed after the people who actually did the genocide. And they've asked them to change their name and they refuse to change their name. You know, and it's just like, all right. Why in the world would you want to name yourself after a group that participated in a genocide. It's kind of crazy, but that's the world we live in. Yep, in the basement of the tornado. Horrible, poor kids. That's crazy. I actually have to look that up. That's insane. I can't believe something like that happens anymore. You know, we got money to bomb kids, but we can't save them from the damn tornadoes in our own country. Oklahoma tornadoes. Let's see what pops up. Oklahoma tornadoes live. 29 Palm Springs, genocide, terrible. California. Large tornado rips through Oklahoma. USA Today. What the hell? Bring this up. You can see this.
Look at that, boys! Holy!
Tornado destroys Oklahoma child care. Kids inside. Oh my gosh. School children amongst Oklahoma tornado casualties. That's insane.
Some of the most heartbreaking stories have been about the children and these two elementary schools. In fact, we're learning that dozens of children are among the victims. Most were inside school when that tornado touched down just before.
That's 13. That's not it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, most of this is old. I see 2 days ago, Texas, Oklahoma. I don't see anything from today. This is in the last few days. Tornado rips through Oklahoma fields. What did I get this week? Storm chasers. I was trying to see if I could see something on the kids. I don't see anything. That always, it bothers me. That we invest so much in other countries, we invest so much to kill people that people die in our own country from dumb things that they shouldn't. Try one more search, see if I can find this. Yeah, every time I come in, it brings up the old stuff. Or did y'all say, somebody say it was not more Oklahoma guy and chemtrails and the cause of weather change? They certainly are one of them. They absolutely are a cause of one of them. 2 children killed after I don't see, oh gosh, flipped by a tornado. I don't see it. I don't see it. But you know, that's kind of what we talk about a lot. It's just we invest in stealing and robbing from other people. We don't invest in preserving life in the next generation. We have immense technology, the things that we can actually do, and we decide not to, you know. And it makes sense. If you got Rothchild central banking and they make money on fear and conflict, then yeah, it's not surprising. Not surprising at all. They've been spraying the skies all day here in Chicago. Weather reports sunny turning partly cloudy. No S, Sherlock. People still just think it's clouds. Why is that, Sandy? Why is that? Why if we had all of these like scientists come out and say, we had whistleblowers come out and say, we have universities come out and say, why do people still think that the chemtrails are fake? Because the media is their intellect, maybe. Maybe that's what's going on. The media is their intellect. And when you let media dictate your reality, and the media is controlled by the Rothchild corporations, or corporations that got a Rothschilds, then yeah, it makes sense that they'll control people, I guess, and convince them that nobody's being sprayed while they're spraying us like we're bugs. We're bugs in their world. And we vote to be sprayed like we're bugs. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad, actually. Hey, Susan, Rebecca, Shaka Zulu, what's up? Let me see. No, it was a couple days ago. Okay. What's going on, brother Michael? National Post News World scientists discovered China has been secretly emitting banned ozone depleted gas. I get it. That sounds horrible. I didn't know. I was thinking about it for a minute, but that sounds horrible, man. Why are they doing that? I don't even know what that is. I don't even. Hey, oh man, that's terrible. Let's not do that. I don't know what that is, but let's not do that. Secretly admitting banned depleted gas. Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, it reminds me of what the Pentagon does. Let's stop. Hey, Mary, Colin, and Dee Dee. Cool, late night. Yeah, it's late night, Dee Dee. I'm just hanging out, see if anybody had anything they wanted to talk about. I heard noise. All right, no, we're good. Might be the Rothschilds. Hey, what's going on, Courtney, Lisa? Let me see. Shout out at the 6. Yeah, well, it's almost 7 o'clock here, so I'm not gonna be here too long. I just wanted to hang out, see if anybody had any questions about voting, about your 2020s, about anything really. Hey, Georgia, been a minute. What's going on, Sandy? So, I don't know. Let's do a last little peek and see if there's anything that looks interesting. Well, I was on the Sumerian stuff. I was thinking about that. Still trying to get religions to stop fighting. That's probably pretty interesting. That to me should be on all the news. The fact that they're finding all these tablets that are showing that all of these religions are based in scriptures that are copies of copies of copies of copies of copies, and nobody knows how far would they go back. But we know they all go back to the same experience that somebody had, and they wrote it down in a book. Because this is what I'm thinking. I think scripture is just history. Somebody thought it was important enough to write down history. That's all I think his scripture is. And I think a lot of what they wrote down were big G gods, and a lot of what they wrote down were little G gods. So I try to process in my head, like when you read scripture, how do you do it without getting tricked? I don't believe all scriptures are the word of God or words of God. I think they were just people observing something and they had no idea what they were looking at. If you see technology that's far beyond your ability or the abilities that you think are possible, you're going to call that thing a god. I think they were little G gods. I think most of the scriptures are little G gods. I think there's talk in scripture about big G gods. And the only way I separate out in my mind is I look at what lines up with the basic message, right? Love each other, work together, don't rob each other, don't steal from each other, don't rape, don't be violent, turn the other cheek when somebody attacks you. And any of the scriptures that talk about that are based in that, I think is probably the big G God. And all the scriptures that talk about war and conflict and money and finance and, all the things, the manisms, all of that to me is little G God. Because all of that to me is like the footprints of a creature that's not evolved. If you were flying around the universe, let me ask you a question. Pretend you're a big G God for a minute. You know how big the damn universe is? You know how big it is? You know how, if you're flying around the universe, making solar systems and planets, or if you're a kid on a laptop and you press a button, the power comes on, it's the Big Bang, however you look at it, we're in a simulation, I don't really care, however you look at it. Are you worried about what every little creature does on every little planet? Are you worried about war? Are you worried about getting the little creatures to listen to you and do what you want? No, I don't think that you are. I think that you create this stuff and you say, boom, there it is. Here are the basics. Love each other, work together. You're on a planet with limited resources, brotherly love, get people the shirt off your back. I'm out. I'll keep a watch from a distance. I'm omnipotent. You figure it out. And then it goes away. And then the creatures who he started, like a billion years before you, they fly to your planet, or they come through the Stargate, or they zap in somehow, I don't know. Astral projection. They take over creatures on your planet. And, oh, speaking of that, Stargate just popped up. Dang, I watched Stargate tonight. And they pop up on your planet and they start telling you what to do. Like, y'all need to go mine some gold for us. We're the gods. But you're like, wait a minute, God, why you want me to mine gold for you and you flying around the universe making gold planets, making asteroids of gold, making whole universes full of diamond planets. Why do you want me to mine the diamonds for you? Of course, no one thought about it that way. They just knew that this thing flew out the sky and landed down, so it had to be a god. And it began to write whatever it said. That's how I think it kind of went down. So I think when you look at scripture, you have to look at, you got to use a little bit of critical thought. I think you got to use the brain that God, the big G God gave you, not be confused by the little G God that are always lost in conflict and kingdoms and all the things that de-evolved creatures would be interested in. Evolved creatures would not be interested in kingdoms and lords and money and finance and houses, and like, they're not interested in that. They're just saying, look, this is food, this is how you eat it, this is how you grow it. Don't ever put no okra in your garden, it's nasty, it'll make you vomit. Drink fresh, clean water, land is life, never give up your land, and love each other, work together, and y'all will figure it out. I'm out. I'm gonna start another colony in another solar system. I think that's what Big G God does. But I don't think people parse it that way. I think they're just giving it at birth, and once they got it, boy, they do not want to change. They will stay in it. What's going on, Terry? Patsy's in the house. They can't keep up with all the stories. No, they can't, Brenda. They can't, which is a good thing. Like, that's a really good thing. The pastors and ministers and popes, and they can't answer the questions as fast as they come up. They can't block all the scriptures. All the ancient texts, and what is it, 1 million Sumerian tablets? They can't block all of it. And they can't answer it, which is a great thing because it's allowing people who actually have ears to hear, which is a scripture, actually can hear it. Evolution knows no master. No, it doesn't, Kia. And I believe in evolution. Like, I think whatever created all of this, nobody really knows too well about. And it created evolving systems. It created DNA and the ability to stitch together neurons like the fungi and create intelligence. And I think this God thing just watches, and the little G gods come around and I think they said the Anunnaki didn't want to be gods, and they never said they were gods, but they said it was okay if the humans thought they were gods. And they were the ones that gave us all this king and lordship and all of this weird stuff we've carried forward with. Let me see. How do you think we get more? Oh boy, this is a hard one. Shaka, you already hit me with a hard question. Yeah. And as soon as you said, how do you think we get more of humanity? It's like, oh Lord, because humans don't want to be humane. So how you gonna get more humanity out of them? I might have to put my thinking cap on this one, or see the whole thing. How do you think we can get more humanity united as one and get them to speak out on things they believe in to try to get things changed for the better of humanity? I have an idea. I want to try to build a community with a garden and solar panels and a small group of people willing to help each other and humanity. I'm having trouble getting people to agree and not to argue about the petty things in life. Yeah, ooh, Shaka, that's the $20 million question. How do you get indoctrinated people who are all just people to actually get along and do what they're supposed to be doing? Man, that's a $40 million question. Shaka, you know what? I think it's, I don't know the answer, but I think that it starts somewhere around getting people to realize that they're in it together. That's what I think. I think it starts somewhere in that space of getting people to see that they're all family, they're all cousins, they're all actually related. Getting people to see that they're all one and their fates are all tied together. I think if you get a crew of people like that, they'll have personality differences. They won't always get along. Those communities, they go through a lot of trouble and they fail a lot, because usually the friends I know who join those, it's because there are conflicts in personality, right? But in most families, you have conflicts in personalities. So if they think each other is family, then they look out for each other, and you can just agree to disagree and move on. And I think it's about a formula, probably. I mean, you probably want to start off with a good group of people who understand that they're all family and working towards a common goal. So, you know, like a lot of people in my thread, I love them to death because they disagree all day long, but they disagree like adults. They disagree like their families. Like, you believe this, I believe that. I voted for Hillary, you voted for Jill Stein, you voted for Trump, you think this, I think that, but here are the facts, and boom, 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 boom. And at the end of the day, we all laugh at Ben Carson. We're not laughing at Ben Carson, we laugh at Trump. We're not laughing at Trump, we laugh at Obama. We're not laughing at him, we're laughing at Bernie. You know, I think you want to look for core people who have more interest in humanity than in their indoctrination, whatever they're indoctrinated. So I think it's somewhere around there, somewhere in that loop. And once you have a good core group, you have a community that's building, living off grid, moving forward. If the government doesn't come in and kill all of you, which they do, write laws that get you out of there, throw you in prison. After that, you can bring in a few conflict-based people. You can bring in a few indoctrinated people at a time. They can trickle in slow, but they're not going to break the core. Right? You're either going to fall in line with the culture you've already built up in your community of kindness and love and working together and disagreeing like adults, and they'll become an adult, or they'll leave, right? But it won't be comfortable for them. Like people who got that active psychopathy, that active indoctrination, they want someone to come along with them in the conflict. If no one in your community wants to go along in the conflict, then they get upset and they leave. But there actually are, Shaka, there are a lot of good videos online you can look up. If I find any, I'll send them to you, where you can see these communities and you can hear their conflicts and you hear them talking about it, you know, and how their communities fail, and then look at the ones that are still successful. You know, it also has to do with laws, unfortunately, not laws to like force people, but laws of guidelines, that's a better word, guidelines, where how you resolve community conflicts, how you delegate the work, things like that. That's the most I know about it. The most I know about it. Agree. Amy said there are little G gods are all throughout the scriptures, but people don't like to admit that. They were raised to believe that it's the word of God and it's never been altered. So in the face of all the evidence showing that it's been altered many, many, many times, they'll fight you on it. No, I'm not interested in people's fights. I don't really care what people believe. I personally want to know what's true. I don't really care what King James believed. I don't care what the Pope believes. I don't care what my pastor believes. I don't care what the ministers believe. I don't care what my brother believes. I love my papa to death, but I don't even care what he believed. I only care about what's true. And I use everything I can, from my atheist friends, from my Christian friends, from my Jewish friends, from my Muslim friends, from my ancient archaeology friends, my ancient alien friends, to figure out what makes some damn sense so I can give my kids an upgrade of my parents, what they gave me. And then they can figure out the rest, you know, on their voyage through Rothchild Earth. Because there is no Earth, it's just Rothschilds. I got the Facebook notice you were on 5 minutes ago. You've been on 35 minutes. That makes sense, Lori. Yeah, I noticed. We were here, girl. It was like the two of us. We was talking. We had great discussion. I was like, where everybody at? I thought that there was people here late that like to hang out. And so I figured, I didn't know this could be late. Rothschild's could have said, nah, you gonna send that notice a little late. I don't think it was that. But man, those notices come up late. I think they're struggling with the software at Facebook because it's just growing so fast. Manism. Excellent term. Ooh, manism. Yeah, Terry, and Moses was lost in manism. Moses and Aaron. They took that Egyptian manism, put it in the Bible, said women created the first original sin. What we were looking at this morning, what were we looking at? Or I was looking at last night and this morning. I listen to lectures all the time. Terry, I don't have a life. It was a guy following in the footsteps of Zecharia Sitchin, looking at the Sumerian tablets and explaining that in the Sumerian tablets, the Sumerians talked about how the Anunnaki made humans from clay. And they made humans from clay, but there also was a thing about the same way Genesis made humans from the dust of the earth, but there was also a thing about Adam and Eve. It wasn't Adam and Eve. it was Adam and snake. It was the Adam that the Anunnaki had made. And the Adam lost ever, no, it wasn't Adam lost ever, one of the Adams named Gilgamesh lost everlasting life because the serpent stole the plant he was supposed to get. Something to that effect. You know, so it was kind of crazy. Eve wasn't even around. Somebody said Eve was at Walmart. They said Eve was at home, holding the fort down. And so, you know, we've got thousands of years, 3,000 years. 3,000 years of oppressing women like they were Egyptian cows. Riddled all throughout society models from top to bottom. So bad, most women are indoctrinated to go along with it. No different than the rest of us. We're indoctrinated to go along with this slavery nonsense. But it's just because bad translation. Moses, you know, Moses and Aaron looking at the geoglyphs from the Sanskrit Naga text. Either they didn't see Eve, or they just wanted to write Eve in, or they saw that the man failed and they figured out we got to blame somebody. So they just put a woman in there. It's like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Eve wasn't even there in that version. So there's so many different versions of Genesis and creation. It's insane. But manism, patriarchal nonsense. Just be good people. We're all, yes, Lord, be a good person. All you have to do, be a good person. I kind of think, Lori, like where my mind is now, I think you do have to just be a good person. You got to be a loving person. You got to respect each other. And I think that's why we're here. I think there's a lesson to be learned here. And I think a lot of the different scriptures talked about that, where you basically, you have to be a good person and look out. And if not, because I believe in a lot of those original scripts, they talked about reincarnation. I think you probably are reincarnated. And like I had a discussion today, Lori, with someone, and we were talking about hell. I think we're in hell. I kind of think we do. I don't know, you know. People call me pagan or something. Nah, I don't know what they call me. I think we're kind of in hell, because how could anything actually be worse than this? Like, really think about it. If you really, 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 really think about it. Think about the things that happen to children on this planet. How could anything be worse than this? Say, oh, well, it could be worse because you'll be burning up in lava. We burn children up with bombs that vaporize them on a daily basis. And our lifestyles are based on that. This t-shirt was bought on that. This phone, this laptop, all of this was bought on burning children up in fires like they're in hell. It can't get no worse than that. I think we're in hell, and I think he was right. I think he might be right. Hell is just, you don't get to move on. You don't get to ascend. You don't get to, you hadn't figured out that you got to love everybody like you love yourself. In fact, maybe you got to love other people more than you love yourself. And when you kind of figure that out, you don't get reincarnated back here in hell. You actually get to go to heaven. And greater things I have done, you will do, which is what Christ said. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know, Lori. I don't know what I know. But this ain't hell. This is hell-ish. You said, Kenyatta, Gerard Kenyatta, hey, you bring us to humanity. Thank you. No, I do not, Lori. Humanity is in you. It is already in you. Our elders handed us down wisdom, and we ran from it. So I don't bring anybody back to anything. It's in you. Trust me. Trust me, I still get cussed out, Lori. I'm not bringing anybody anywhere. If the message that we're all family is resounding with you, that we need to end conflict and violence, and this money thing might need to go ahead and go somewhere, and with the banks, that's, you know, completely within you. It's resounding, has nothing to do with me. Besides, I don't think there's a you and me anyway. We're all one. We're all quantumly entangled. We're all a part of that God soul thing. I'm afraid that some of the things I believe as a child came true. As a child, I envisioned live streaming at 8 years old. Wow. Now it's all about the thinking and communication through the brain waves and reading each other's thoughts through the chipping implants at birth. Ooh. Sandy, you know what? It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me one bit, Sandy. You could time electromagnetism, gravity, they're all linked and connected, right? They're all based in wave energy, and we are wave energy. Your brain operates on wave energy. Thought is literally wave energy. And so, you could be tapping into some sort of, I don't know, soul, Akashic record, past life, other dimension. It just doesn't surprise me. Saying if you said that years ago, I'd be like, you crazy, girl, you crazy. I'd be like, I'd be like, okay, Sandy. Like, you sit over there, I'm gonna go sit over here. But now, like, when you really start to look at what quantum physics and science is uncovering, religion and spiritual energy and everything, ooh, no. To me, spirituality is a technology. It's a pure technology. So that doesn't surprise me one bit. And I think that when you get those visions, Sandy, I think you're supposed to have those testimonies. You're supposed to tell people. I think you're supposed to share that because other people benefit from that. Like when I hear you say that, I'm like, ooh, what do I know? What do I get to do? Everybody has these spiritual gifts. We just don't tap into them. And I think that's why government covers a lot of this stuff up. Spiritual technology is real technology. When at first you practice to deceive, oh, what a tangle web you weave. Yes, Lord, they deceive us, and that's why they're winning. Completely winning. You see, I think the people have to give up the idea of money and recognize we all have inherent abilities. Kia, I agree. I so agree with you. I do. Man, every time I talk about money, I know how much trouble I get in. These people don't want to give up that money, girl. Boy, I got friends who will not watch a live stream ever again in life. I got all kind of blocks and people leaving, and I don't really care. I don't really care so much, but people are just, money is dangerous. Oh, it's a powerful thing, Key. It's a powerful, powerful thing. When you take a thing, and it doesn't matter what that thing is, it could be a block of wood, and you put it between humans and survival over there, you put it between humans and water over here, that human's gonna die without that water, and so they put money between human life and survival. People will do anything for it, and they will not let it go. It is the perfect slavery. It is the perfect entity that enslaved the human race. What I was thinking about on that line, Kia, water is life, and land is required to live. Land is required to maintain your life. So government took the land and they took the water. I suspect if water is life and land is what human beings need to live, anybody who takes that from them has no respect for it. Anyone who meters that or puts it at a distance from, why would any creature actually separate you from what you need to live? Why would any creature that respects or even kind of sort of gives a damn about you or your children put a distance between you and what's required to live? Why would they make you pay for it and it's free and always has been free? It's because they're evil, they're demons. I don't even think they're human. So this idea that government cares about you and it's our tool to help each other and help us grow, I disagree. I completely disagree. A government gives a damn about you if they don't keep from you the things that's required for you to live. If they're willing to let you die or go to prison for not having land and not having water and not being able to survive in the Rothchild banking world, you might want to think about exiting that political party or that government. None of us knows history. It's up to us. It's up to each one of us to find morality and act in integrity in the now. Right, exactly. And no one knows enough history to argue, fuss, and fight over. To me, I know just enough history to know that I'm supposed to love everybody and try to be a decent person. I know just enough history to know that karma's a real deal and I need to hand out what I want to come back in. Money is an idea, that's all. That's all it is. Money has no power, but but the concept of where it fits into our lifestyles, our lives, how to survive, that we can't survive without it. It's just a thing. It's no different than that block of wood that I just held up. It's no different than a blueberry Cheerio. Blueberry Cheerios! It's no different than a blueberry Cheerio. But if people die without blueberry Cheerios, and you're the one who prints the blueberry Cheerios, you have the blueberry Cheerio printing machine like the Rothschilds do, ooh, you can break a whole species. How to have life when you become an adult. Well, sure, I don't think most people become adults. I think most people are lost in this conflict. Evolving takes time. Yes, it does, Lori, and that's why I think the big G God thing dropped us and flew away. It dropped us and like, y'all figure this out. Y'all be careful now, because I done made some other colonies out there, billions of them. Some of them got aliens, some of them have angels on them, others got demons. They're going to be fighting and warring. Armageddon's going to come. Y'all need to be careful. Take care of each other. All you guys each other. I'm never going to leave nor forsake you, but I got to go to Alpha Centauri and I got to set something up over there. All right, I'm going to keep an eye on you. Be right back. And he was out. And we have to learn how to take care of each other or we all die. And I think it's the perfect system. We all either grow up and mature as a species, or we die and the planet gets reset. And that asteroids keep coming, the aliens and demons, or angels and demons keep coming, the flood water keeps coming, wipes us all out, and we got another chance to figure out how to get along and not make Rothchild banks again. But I think we keep making it. That's why I think Jesus was so frustrated. He turned that table over. He's like, oh, Lord. He went into church like that again. This is why I stop and I wonder, how many times has this happened? Because Jesus, he wasn't I don't know where he came from. But he walked into church, y'all done had the money changers out. Y'all done had Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and Rothschild. We're making money, political party, changing money. Making interest on the money, and Jesus like, oh gosh, again, this has happened 20,000 times. I've let the human race restart. And y'all keep going back to what I keep telling you not to do. And he was like a parent, flip out. That's what he did. He flipped out. Here we are. Most of the churches want to be mega churches now. I don't understand, but I understand what Christ did. Now that I understand Rothschild banking, how he set all this up, I get it now. I absolutely get it. Becoming an adult takes time. Yes, Lori, that's why I think God done flew away. I've heard of the happiest humans are uncontacted tribes in the Amazon. I think it's how people were meant to live. I agree with you, Steve. Not necessarily that we got to run in the Amazon and not wash our booties, but that, free. Being free. I think human beings become beautiful things when we're free. When we are captive, we become literal monsters. We become the psychopathic lions in the zoo and the psychopathic bears in the zoo. And and then they throw money in it and we become super psychopathic monsters. I think human beings are supposed to be free. You just leave them alone. They all have spiritual gifts. They all become something great, but you gotta leave them alone. We all have G is related to everybody, past and present, such love. We are, Lori, we're all related to everybody. What's going on, Trish Blankenship? I'm so sorry your family show ended for a minute. Y'all watch the Curse of Oak Island. Y'all should watch Trish's show, Trish's family show. Boy, that's deep. It got deep at the last season. If y'all haven't seen it, man, they done dig down and they done found all those structures. They have no idea who made them, and they know that nobody would have built all those structures unless they were hiding something seriously significant. Like nobody would build a pyramid unless they were hiding something seriously significant. And they got real archaeologists now involved in the Oak Island search that something is really there. Something is really, really there. But they built all these booby traps to protect it. We need to focus. Did you watch Claudia's interview? Oh, did I, Sandy? Yes, I did. Today, somebody sent me a tag. I don't ever get a pop-up when she goes live anymore, but somebody sent it to me, so I was able to jump in. On geoengineering, the scientist, he nailed it. That brother nailed it. What was his name? Malcolm? I forgot. Marcus, he was on it. He was telling the real story. And this is the good thing about right now is you got a lot of people who are professionals who are finally starting to speak up because they know that this is coming to an end. They know that it's coming to a climax. Good evening, Susan, with all the powerful quotes. She ain't playing. Let me see. Gerard, you have a wonderful life. Lori, everybody has a wonderful life. Everybody does. Everybody does, because to me, it's a state of mind. It's completely a state of mind. And life is about the things you can get. Yep, life is horrible. You always got somewhere to go. You always got somewhere to be. You got something else to get. You got something else. But if life is about living, if you accept that you are a wave energy spiritual creature in a human body having an experience, then it's about experiencing. And the way I try to focus my mind is on the experience. Just living the experience, taking it all in, taking the day to learn as much as I can. And I'm very privileged to be able to learn. I have an internet. I have internet access. I have the ability to look those things up. Everybody's life is great. I think it's just a state of mind. But everybody's having an experience. 600 million year old fossils of fungus found in Canada. Isn't that amazing, Dee Dee? Fungus was here and they had fungus trees, big as they have fungus, 30-foot fungus. You know, and that's why I think people have the theories how fungus is how we got here in terms of our brains and its ability, or brought us to a certain extent, and then the big G God came, or maybe little G gods, I don't know, and actually took some of the dust of the earth, gave us the second chromosome, I think people say. Amazing. And eat okra. Hell no, Dee Dee, not a drop of it. Not even on a thimble. Hell no. Never okra, never okra. Oh, but you know what, Dee Dee? I have a challenge. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Somebody challenged me because they didn't watch that nasty okra video. Oh, man, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I know my brain ain't working right half the time. Put okra in a smoothie. Somebody challenged me to put, what is it called? The lady was sister from India. It's not sour melon. Sour gourd. Say, yeah, you could put okra in a smoothie. I bet you can't put no sour gourd in there. What the hell is a sour gourd? I've had sour melon. I think it's called sour sop or something. So I might actually do a video, prove her wrong. Y'all might get to see me vomit on camera. That sounds pretty nasty. Sour gourd? Like a gourd already has issues and challenges with taste to begin with. But you're gonna make it sour too? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Graham Hancock did a lecture on women ruled the ancient society, where the rule was passed down from woman to woman. And Susan, I need to see that video, please. Can you please pass me the link? Please post a link here or tag me in it, put it on my page. I need to watch that. That'll be my nighttime watch. I kind of like the sound of that. And I know my other male friends don't like it. I kind of like the sound of women in control. I'm so tired, Susan, of telling people what to do. I've been a manager and a parent, all of this stuff. I don't want to tell. I'm so sick of telling people stuff. I don't want to tell nobody nothing. I want people to tell me what to do. I live in woman world. I do it. I do it in a minute. I go right to woman world. Can I go to sleep and wake up in that dimension? Where the Amazon women run the planet. As long as they don't got one breast and got their bow and arrow and like shoot men and stuff, like beat us and treat us like we treat them. And I use that we loosely, very loosely. You know, as long as women are kind and stuff and y'all got all that nurturing and cuddly stuff going on, I'd be in woman world in a minute, heartbeat. Don't have to ask me nothing. I'm so sick of man world. Man world is so evil. Oh, I don't know what to do with y'all. Tell me when you die. Tell me in a dream. What's that mean, Tina? I agree, G. Hell is everywhere. Those that have chose not to be defined by it, hope and joy. Right, Shelly? Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's evil. Like, this is a rough place, y'all. This is hell. But it doesn't have to be in your mind. Right? Hell can be all over your body, but it can be all in your body, but it doesn't have to be in your mind. And I think that's the power of spirituality, because if you know that this is not the end, you know that you go somewhere great after this. If you live this life right, you do the right things. Everyone disagrees on what that is. Like Susan said, I think she stole somebody else in a quote. You know, don't worry about the messenger. Focus on the message. You know, people like the fight between Buddha and Muhammad, Jesus, whatever. Just focus on the message, focus on the love, and don't. God can be different things to different people. You know why I know that? Because the big G God is that great. Whatever that thing is, it's omnipotent. It can be Buddha to some people, it can be Christ to other people, it can be Muhammad to other people, it can be Quetzalcoatl to other people, it can be Thoth to other people. Why? Because God is that great. Didn't you just tell me God is great? God is great. And God can do that. God can be that. God was that. Where is that in the book of John or something like that? Where was it where God said, I blinded the Jews in part so the rest of the world could be saved? That was God pretending to be two different religions right there. He pretending to be one thing for the Christians because they needed to get it a certain way, and then one way for the Jews. And to me, that was always an example. Back when I used to study the Bible, that God can be anything it wants to be. You know, you telling other people what God is, the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It makes no sense. God will appear to people in the way it needs to, whatever it is. And God will also appear to people as nothing. God also can be a. Why not? Why can't God use what it needs to get people to where it needs to be in its own way without you telling it? Oh Lord, I don't even know what y'all talking about. I just saw something say this penis world. What the hell? Why you can't say nothing? Oh Lord, who said that? Lori, are you acting up? Stop it. Mandy, good afternoon. Spirit gifts, they're coming back, brother. I hope so, Justin. I think people talk about how we're going through different realms in the galaxy or different phases, and that we might be entering into a new era where physics is a little different, wave energy responds differently to the position in the Milky Way galaxy or whatever we are, and that we'll be more in tap with those spiritual gifts. I'd hope so, but I hope the right people can fly. I do not want to see your politicians flying around with a cape and some drawers, some tight drawers on. I do not want to see that. I don't want to see that. And that, please take me to woman world, y'all. I don't want to see that at all. Please just do not let Joe Biden have like death ray grips or a death kiss. Lasers shooting out of his lips. No, that's going to be a problem. We got some pedophilia issues. Yeah, that. It's not physical. Oh, missed a bunch of comments. Let me see. Timothy Tressie, good afternoon. We're just having an evening conversation. Somebody actually asked me today if I could afford to pay my bills by myself. I could not believe it. I need nothing other than the basics that I'm forced to pay with money, insurance, and taxes. Well, you know, in Sandy, you shouldn't pay anything. To me, the strongest and the most loving people I know are the most poorest people I know. The people I actually respect the most are the people who actually have trouble paying their bills. Because the people who pay their bills, what kind of challenge or struggle do they deal with? They have no challenges, they have no struggles. But the people who can't pay their bills and they still got love and it's still showing and not yelling at the wife and fighting with the husband, raising the kids and talking about love, some of the most amazing people I know are homeless people. You know, so to me, I think you not being able to pay your Rothchild bills, if that's what they were asking, I think that actually is a good thing. Nobody should be able to pay their Rothchild bills at all. It makes no sense, not to me. I think we define success in the wrong ways. Resource-based economy. We won't get there without leaderless direct democracy. Government that prohibits politicians. Come join us in France. And I agree with you, Brother Robert. You and I agree. People have to take back their government and get rid of their government. And I think that starts with getting rid of your representatives and you making your own choices. You voting for yourself instead of hiring people to represent you. I saw a burning bush once high on the mushroom. He did indeed communicate telepathically. Ooh, Brother Steve, that's kind of deep. I think people say the burning bush was the acacia bush, and when the acacia bush, it actually is psychedelic. And when it burns, it gives visions. You know, I think that whatever that God thing is talks to us, and I think you're supposed to give those testimonies when you interface with it. And And some people, it's for some people, maybe it's not for other people. Take it in, but give the testimony. As things happen in the past, I'm pretty sure they happen now in the same way. All right, let me move down the comments. I'm way up. Hey, Cindy. Let me see. What do we worship? Money or things it can't buy? Which is a shame, Shelly. But we got to be honest with it. Actually, I said I got in trouble. I did a video and I said I love money, and people didn't like that, but it's true. I don't lie to you. I'm not here to lie to nobody. I love the things that money does for me. I love the things that money does for my kids. I love the things that money does for other people. And I can't separate that love from money. Not yet. Not yet. I'm trying to get rid of money. So don't get me wrong. When I say I love money, it's from a what it provides perspective. I don't want to. But I live in a world that all the things that I hold dear, the things that I keep most precious to me, they need it or they die. I love money and I hate money. And I hate money just enough that I want to see it abolished. And that I change my life almost on a daily basis, getting further and further from it. Greed, yeah, Brother Justin, greed is an issue. People or greedy? I think people are greedy, Justin. I think that we evolved that way because when we didn't have the bare minimums, we died. And so we went from over the bare minimum so that we didn't die. But then when we have enough, we still got that psychopathy to fight for more. So I think humans have become greedy because we lived in a very conflicting planet. And we probably could have ended it before money got created. We probably could have ended it before banking, and we didn't. We didn't focus on enough is enough. So now that's just where we are. So people are greedy because I think it's an evolved thing. And it's kind of like the wild. It's part of our wild. And we can get rid of our wild. Some of us have, but the majority haven't. Because we live in a society that it taps into that ancient need for survival to collect more and more and more to be safe. So I don't think it's an evil thing. I think the greed we have is an evolved thing. And I think we can get rid of it. But we have to try. Liberty needs no rulers. Right, Brother Robert, freedom has no rulers, liberty has no rulers. And that's where government comes in. That's why I'd be happy if it just went away. Retirement is a beautiful word. It is, Lori, and it should be a beautiful word at birth. Kids should be born retired. If we were free, if we loved them, you wouldn't raise your kids to go to school and get a job for corporations that are owned by the Rothchild. You would raise your kids to be free. To go be painters and crayon drawers and kids that play in the mud that are happy. Brother Daniel, good afternoon. They need to leave Oak Island alone. There are reasons why they bury some things. Ooh, go on, Brother Justin. Go on. I can't debate with that. I can't. I mean, I want to know what's in there. Don't get me wrong. We want to know. But it's kind of like world governing. Like, a world order. I agree with the world order from a perspective of sovereignty and a order that leaves everybody alone. We're not ready for that. Like right now, we got a world order. Violence and conflict and destruction and war and all the things that the Rockefellers and Rothschilds set up. So we can't have that yet. So I really kind of agree with you and disagree with you. I want to know what's in Oak Island. I want to know what's under the pyramids and under the Sphinx. But because we're looking at those things now and our government's controlled by some of the most evil people on this planet, all governments are, they're not actually telling us what they find. If they find anything at Oak Island, I don't get to know. All they're gonna find in Oak Island is what is complicit with my indoctrination, what's complicit with the story they told me. I mean, there's some deviation, like they might let 5% new information come out, but if there's something significant there, the Ark of the Covenant, alien ship, lost books of scriptures and Sumerian tablets that further unite all the world's religions, I don't think they'll let us know that. So I kind of agree with you. Some things get buried, And we're only supposed to dig them up in time when we're ready for them. And we're still children. We are still a very immature species. How do we get people to pay attention to their surroundings and the corruption when they don't care? Shaka, you asking hard questions, bro. You're asking hard questions. That's why we're here. That is exactly why. This is why we're here. And I got friends all over the world from all different walks of life and the political parties and the spectrums. Because I'm trying to figure this thing out. I have no idea. I have no idea. I can't wake up my own family. I can't wake up most of my closest friends. They're still lost in this political and indoctrination world. Maybe some people have the ability to wake up from the matrix and others don't. So that's. I know it starts with truth. I'll say that. I know it starts with truth, Shaka. I think it starts with being honest, us being brutally honest with ourselves and other people, and let the chips fall where they may, right? Like we've been living lies, and we got to stop living the lies. We've been living lives that the Rothschilds gave us and the Rockefellers and these crazy, nutty people, psychopath world that they designed. And so if there is anything good to come out on the other side, it absolutely has to begin with something that's true. Say the things that are true and let the chips fall where they may. And we just have to trust our species figures it out. Yulie and Justin. Oh, Justin went out, came back in. Oh, there goes Stacy. Somebody was calling Stacy. Here we go. Here we go. I'm cooking okra. Go on, Stacy. Tell everybody. I'm boiling okra tonight. Just tell everybody nasty okra pie or something. All right, I'm just being with it. Let me see. What else we got? Y'all are so silly. Be the example. Yes, Lori. Be the example. Amazon women, right, Justin? You mean, yeah, it's not even a question. Hey, Christine, what's happening? Let me see. It was considered a peaceful, strong, prosperous society. Every time I tried to share it on Facebook, it disappeared. Then that makes sense to me, Susan. You're talking about the Amazon society? Or a society run by women? They don't want you posting that. I don't think they do. They want man world. They want to keep violent world. They want to keep conflict world. You can make a lot of money in conflict world. Can't make any money in woman world. And the problem is you post it, most people will agree with you. Because most men that are honest, sick of man world too. We don't have nothing to do with it. Done with it. Try something different. We need to go a different direction. But I don't think it needs to be as extreme as woman world. I just think that we went too far with the nature of man, right? Because man is more violent. Like that chimp bonobo example I go back to. Man has just got too much aggression in him. He's got too much, it was his aggression that saved the tribe, right? It was his violence that kept everybody safe. And they abuse that today. And they keep that. So while, women evolved to be strong and violent too, those warrior genes, men had just a little bit more because they were the ones out there with the bears. And when the men died, the women did it. So it's not like women didn't do it. It's just men probably did it for longer. And so they have the stature and they have a little more of that violent psychopathy. And so men designing the world is not really the best idea. Not really the best idea in terms of evolving. And I know some very wild women, don't get me wrong, psychopathic. But in terms of evolving, women as a group, if that is a group, will most likely get there first. We have a lot more of wild to de-evolve out of. I'm going with G, the woman world. I'm gonna be like Solomon and 50 wives. Oh yeah, Justin, you might want to chill on that one, brother. You might want to just think about it for a minute. Think about it just a little bit. It's a show on what's it on HBO? It's called Big Love. You might want to watch that. Polygamy is not what you think. And I'm not sure if the show was completely accurate. I seriously doubt any woman on this thread would deal with 2 husbands or 3. And I seriously doubt any man on this thread could tolerate 2 or 3 wives. Living 2 or 3 wives, 2 or 3 sets of problems, 2 or 3 sets of man problems. No. Most of y'all can barely deal with one. How about let's figure one out first? How about we figure out a society where we figure one out first? How about we figure out a society where we can figure out how to just be in a relationship without crazy, nutty psychopathicness? Cutting people's thighs and running people over with cars and stuff like that. Nah. But it sounds fun, Justin. It does. It sounds fun, but I don't think it's going to end that way. I don't think. Can you imagine 80 women pissed off at you? Shoot, can you imagine 8? I run like hell when just one get pissed off at me. The right one? Oh no. No, 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 no. My life is hard enough. I don't need that. Let me see. I got some twine for the ceremony. Oh, you still cook an okra, Stacy? Stop that. That's gonna get under your fingernails. Might get an infection. Might have to cut a finger off or something. All right, I'm ready for comments. Let me move down. Sparta was a society where women held political power and trained to be warriors in a time when most societies didn't allow it. I'm curious about that, Susan. Yeah, well, is that because Sparta was surrounded by violent kingdoms and so women stepped into that as well? I don't know, but it's a good example. It's a good example of, we all have the ability to be rough and violent. We all have the ability to turn that warrior gene on and off. All we got to do is be surrounded by Rothchild banks or invading armies, and we can be quite evil. All right. Let me see. I remember in high school, all the classes I had to take to graduate. Well, I excelled in economics, government, philosophy, and world affairs back in 1970s. And the most important of that probably would be economics and psychology. Most important. Absolutely most important. World affairs and government and economics and psychology, because economics is always used to abuse our psychology. It is always used, and it always takes us into crazy places. So I lean on that neuroscience, right? How they use psychology and they use economics to tweak out the warrior genes, right? They use that to create an unstable society, creating mental illness. Everybody should be able to choose what they want. I don't believe in necessarily universal income, but I don't think anybody should have to work to provide. I don't think they should have to make money to provide for the human tribe. I think that whatever your talents are, your loves and your passions and your skills, you should go that way. And we should let you go that way. Don't worry about the food, I got your back. I love writing software. I love doing automation and robotics. We just don't have the money to make it happen. If we had the money to make it happen, people like me with engineering brains, we love it. We love it. We do this in our sleep. We love to create things. Other people like, no, I'd hate to be a programmer. You couldn't pay me to be a programmer. That's our passion. It's what we love to do. We love to create things and solve problems. We were given the brain to do that. So what's wrong with me and 50,000 other people writing software so everybody around the planet has food to eat? Well, the only thing that's wrong with it is the Rothchild banks won't make money. They can't starve people into working. They can't starve people into getting a slave labor force to make this Rothschild earth. When everybody, I believe some weird things. I believe that everybody has gifts, and any gifts the human race needs, another spirit lands in a human, so we have it. And I think everything is done decently in order, and I think everything comes together. You need a Nikola Tesla, we get one. We need an Einstein, they're born. We need these things that move us forward, they are. And I think these people who own the world figure that out. And that's why you've got these spiritual gifts. You should not be posting them online. We saw that in small example with, was it MK Ultra? It was one of those projects where they were finding people with minimal abilities and giving them psychedelics to study them. If somebody can fly or levitate, they're going to disappear. I don't know. Like I said, I believe some crazy stuff. I believe the ancients. I don't believe in mythology. I think all that stuff was true. I don't think our ancestors were crazy. I think our current government hiding that is crazy. Don't fight the old system, create the new one. Exactly, Brother Rob. It's like move forward. Don't be negative, just move forward. Just say it doesn't work. Currently, today, it doesn't work. That's why I lose friends all the time, Robert. They can't stick around. It just doesn't work. I don't take your politicians seriously. I don't take politics seriously. The left is this, right? Somebody's fussing on my feed earlier today. The left and right, they were going back and forth. And I was just like, excuse me. They'd go back and forth. They're like, excuse me. They would go back and forth. I was like, excuse me. Did any of y'all get like? Did y'all get signed triplicate from the Rothschilds that you can actually do those things? Did anyone get signed in triplicate from the Rothschild banking system that all your talking points and all your campaign, what do they call them? Campaign, what are the campaign lies? What do they call when you run for office and you, campaign promises? It's like, okay, you know, when I vote again, I will vote again when y'all show me some campaign promises and the Rothschilds sign it in triplicate. When I can see enough of the Rothschild family that actually owns the nation, the slave plantation I live in, that own the Federal Reserve, when enough of them go ahead and sign your campaign promises, man, I might be with you. Damn it, I might start posting again. Short of that, no, I laugh at it. I don't hate it. It's just an old world. It's an old violent kill system. It's a kill machine that needs to be retired. Violence needs to go extinct. And that'll never happen if you keep voting and putting violent people in a violent model that requires conflict, because that's how the Rothschild banks make money. All right, let me see. Let me go down. Sorry, don't know the T. Thought G said the world. Don't know the T. I missed that, Steve. I'm trying to go down. I'm skipping comments because I'm way up, and I think I'm like 20 minutes behind y'all in comments. At 58, so ready to be free. And that's a scary thing, Laura. You should have been free at 5 minutes. The minute you were born, you should have been born into a world where the adults wanted you to be free instead of be a slave like them. But misery loves company. And I think that's part of why people don't want to get out of this nonsense. Brother George, what's going on? Brother from UMES, where I went to school. Harvey Dickerson, how are you doing this evening? Let me see. Down. Absolute Egyptian-minded, the Rockies for the blue turquoise. Absolute Egyptians mind the Rockies for the blue turquoise. Elizabeth, is that rock that they found that? No, I'm thinking about the glass from that explosion over India that was in the Sanskrit text that turned the sand to glass. Is that what you're talking about? The blue turquoise that was like really treasured in Egypt. They found it and they made a few jewels and different things from it. The glass that showed that there was some sort of a nuclear, some sort of an explosion in the ancient past, which people say is a comet. But the Sanskrit text told you it was the gods fighting with the weapons that they have. And instead we believe the modern scientists, and none of them over the age. How old are the Egyptians? They've been like 5,000 years. How old is their civilization? And how old is your scientist? Like 52? I kind of lean on the Sanskrit text. I kind of lean on the Egyptians. I kind of go with, the ancient Hindus and Buddhists who wrote things down, who absolutely didn't have to, but they felt it was that important. Every spirit is homeless. You ever start to read a comment, you're like, ooh, that's gonna be delicious. Ooh. Start getting all warm on this. Tingly on the back of my kid about to say something, y'all. Every spirit is homeless. It's only when humans become attached to an illusion. Ooh, so every spirit is homeless. I love that. It makes me think that we're a part of the one, flying around, spirit wave energy, a part of God, whatever that is. And then we get trapped in these bodies when we adopt an illusion, or we accept the illusion and we become attached to this world to learn something. But what? I think it might be different things for different people, different things for different spirits, but I love that. Every spirit is homeless. And that kind of reminds me of that scripture that talks about Jesus didn't have a home, didn't have anywhere to lay his head. He just walked around homeless, not needing a home, but just learning everywhere he went. Interesting. Yearning to be free, Statue of Liberty poem. Yes, freedom would be great, Lord. We don't have that. Yeah, I have to ask the hard questions. Well, Shaka, listen, if I got an answer for you, I give it to you, brother. If I don't, I'll be the first to let you know. This navigating this nonsense The only people I'm really worried about sometimes people who know too much. People always got an answer for you. They always got that full answer. I respect people who guess. I respect people all day long who just I have no damn idea, but this is where you might want to kind of start. It's like you ask somebody how to fix a car. Well, how do I fix my car? My carburetor broke. I'd rather somebody say, you know what, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that carburetor's under the hood. All right, I respect that. Thank you. Yeah, I can go looking in the right direction. I don't waste my time. But then the people who know, I know how to fix the carburetor. What you do is you open the tire, you get inside that tire, you turn it and do this, that. Now I'm in the tire, cutting it open with a razor blade and, just working on nonsense. I appreciate people who just don't freaking know. Just say you don't know. And if you want to guess, just guess. So yeah. But we got a lot of hard questions. But I think that's a part of life. Maybe life is about hard questions. Maybe life is about experiencing the hard and just getting through the struggle. Maybe that's what this is all about. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think life is about. I don't know. Colossus was never America. It's such a beautiful poem. Okay, Lori, I don't remember the poem. People have a right to privacy, not governments. The world is on its head. It does, Robert. This is why I say governments aren't sovereign. Like this whole belief in nationalism and patriotism. It's about this idea that governments are sovereign, nations are sovereign, and they're not. People are. Don't take a fantasy entity given to us by kings and lords and make it sovereign. That's crazy. That's how you take the sovereignty of children you can drop bombs on. I'll never say a nation is sovereign. A nation and systems and these fantasy creations, these things we create, they're okay till they murder. They're okay till they abuse somebody and violate somebody else's sovereignty, a human creature. I'm human. I'm not government. I'm human. I'm not nation. I'm human. I'm not a flag. I always side on the side of biology, not banks and systems and big corporations. I am biology. But I'm also spirit. I'm in a biological body, and a system doesn't need to exist, but humans need to eat. And they need to have homes where they don't have bombs dropped on them. So when these systems offend biology, they offend my species, they offend other spirits, then I can't have anything to do with those systems. The only systems that should exist in a evolved world will be systems that don't do things that violate our sentience, like kill us. If men would just support women and stand with them, the difference will happen. I have to think about that, Sandy, because I think that's part of the equation. It's part of the equation, but there's a lot more to that, because not all women should be stood with, right? Not all men should be stood with. So I think there's a little more than that. Like we got to have critical thought. We got to have empathy. We got to have love. Swapping out man world for woman world, I think the powerful will end up, because most women who believe in sovereignty and freedom and liberty, they don't want to be in control. They don't want to be leaders. They don't want the power. Just like most men. It's usually the psychopaths that want the power. So we can flip from man world to woman world. And usually the powerful, like after every revolution, are the ones who take over. And they're just psychopaths too. They got the genitals that the other side don't have, or they got a different skin color the other side didn't have, or they come from a different class the other side didn't have. They're the people who believe in power. And most people who don't believe in power, who just want to leave you alone, they don't want to be in government. They don't want to run anything. So I think it's a little more than that. I think it's a little more to that. But men should stand by women because that's who we are. That's why you have muscles. That's why you are a little bigger. You're not bigger because you're supposed to use it for you. You're bigger because you were supposed to defend women. You are bigger because you're supposed to defend your tribe. It's like a husband. Your power and your strength is not to bear down on your wife. Never. It's not to bear down on your kids, ever. Your power and strength is to defend them at all times. That's why we have the things that we have. That's why we have an ability to run down grizzly bears, feed the family, because that's what we're supposed to do. That strength is for them. But in the psychopath, Rothchild banker world, they take the strength of men, the aggression of men, and they use it against each other. They use it against their families and against women. Violence has to come to an end. Yeah, Brother Daniel, we are one. Economic theories are rapidly changing. Capitalism has failed. Absolutely. Capitalism has totally failed. And I don't know why, Brother Steve, people are hanging on to it. You know, they'll never have, I mean, capitalism has its great points, but you'll never have true capitalism because there's always cronyism. There's always the powerful who are in control. You know, so to me, it's just, like I said, I don't pick a team. You know, capitalism, communism, socialism, they all need to go away. They've all failed, or we failed to implement them correctly. Either way, we need to move on to the new world. You know, don't worry about the old world. Look at the new. What's going on, Nikki and Jonathan? Gerard is like the teacher you wanted to have in school always. Lori, Gerard is not like the teacher what is school. Gerard knows the things that you don't know about Gerard. Gerard ain't no kind of no teacher. No kind of no teacher. I read what y'all say. I give you my thoughts. People send me posts. I read them. I try to be honest about it. I put myself out there. That's not teacher material. Not a teacher at all. Nothing even like a teacher. I'm a learner. I'm here to learn. I don't know. Does the world even need teachers? That's a dangerous word. I don't know. I don't think the word any teachers. Maybe people who give examples. Let everybody else figure it out. Because that whole classroom teacher-student concept, like, it's weird. Isn't that like a little weird, y'all? Is it just me? Like, think about it. Isn't that like a little weird? Like, if we're all equals, and really, you know, the only difference between children and adults, like Saj Guru talks about, is just the adults got here first. They're not better. They're probably not even smarter. They just have a little more experience here. They stepped in dog done a little more. But they just got here first. That's all. Like, this whole idea of hierarchies. I think we got to get rid of all hierarchies. I don't know. Is that just crazy? I just think we should talk to children like they're adults. In a way. I think we should treat each other with respect. And I think all these different levels and layers and things, I think we should get rid of them. All the words that are based in that, you know. There's always somebody who knows more than you on something. Nobody is the best at anything. We would have more of these people if they weren't drinking the fluoride. Yeah, you would hope, Shaka. That's what I tell people all the time. Welcome to America. Don't drink the water, don't eat the food, don't breathe in too much of the air, grow some of your own food, and damn it, sure don't buy a house anywhere in the range of 5G. Just leave. We sure would. All right, but people want fact, I guess. All right, I'm gonna have to get out of here, though. Read after the last couple comments. It's late. Claudia, good evening. There are many Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon. Oh yeah, not in our history books. Right, Elizabeth? Well, wasn't that because there was an explorer? Y'all remember that? An explorer went to Colorado and went to the Grand Canyon and found some cave with Egyptian hieroglyphics in the cave. Came back, told the world, and it somehow got covered up. Something crazy like that, like it got covered up, or they sent some artifacts to the Smithsonian, the black hole where things disappear, like that. The 8-foot redhead people they said were either aliens or Vikings, whatever. But I heard something about that. I remember watching, I think, a lecture or something on that. I don't disbelieve it because different people have circumnavigated this planet many times over. I mean, they found with the African heads in South America. They found Japan or Chinese pottery in Latin America. They found the Vikings. They found in Canada. They found, you know, so there were circumnavigating cultures way back then. So to me, that's not a stretch. It's not a stretch. It's just a piece of history that they don't tell us about. The question is why. It's like the Polynesians and Easter Island. You know, we've been circumnavigating this planet for a very long time. Vimanas, they're a thing. Of course the Indians flew. It's not even a question about that. I think it was the Mayans or the Aztecs flew also because they had they found the fabrics in the great, they found fabrics with the consistency, like the thread thickness or density of what you would need to make a parachute. So they suspected they were using that for balloons, like using helium and like balloons. And so they figured out how to do that. And maybe that's why they did the big ground formations, because they were actually flying. I think there are probably a lot of good, real, plausible explanations for a lot of everything. Like, I don't always jump to aliens. I kind of look at, you know, what might make some sense. The geoglyphs, the great geoglyphs. But if they're making they're making balloons and they're flying way back then yeah, sure. I mean, what? And the theory is, the point is, why in the world would they make a fabric that could hold gases and float in the air for clothing? Like, it would make no sense. It would make no sense to put that amount of methodical work into making a fabric unless you made it for a particular purpose. That could have been something else that we don't know about. So anyway, down at the bottom. There's some great comments on this thread. Yes, Steve, brother, they're always good. There's amazing people here, open-minded people. People who just post stuff that gets you thinking. And they post stuff. Sometimes I'll like do a research on something, I'll completely forget about it. Somebody will post like, oh yeah, you know, and it has a much more meaning now because I've learned other things since then. It's like, wow, and the world starts to make more sense. There's some amazing people here. It'll be a shame when Facebook turns it off. It'll suck. It'll suck. I know. That's how it goes. It'll suck. That's why I told you, you gotta find me on other platforms. If you only follow me on Facebook or YouTube, one day you're gonna be sadly disappointed. Cooking but listening. All right, Yuli, what you cooking? And please don't say okra. You at Stacy's house. Don't say that. So is the root cause between men and women, and then money and power? From that, money control took over. It's a root cause between men and women, and then money and power. From that, money control took over. Hold on, I'm just getting a phone call. It's breaking my train of thought. I think power was always energy. I don't call it power, I call it energy. I think, Sandy, energy always was the goal, right? It's the reason that single-cell organisms became multicellular, right? To collect more energy. And so I think we're always after more energy. And power and money are energy. They give you money and power over people, over human labor and force. Men could collect more energy because they had more strength. Billionaires can collect more energy and secure more energy and more money. So I think we've been lost in this, and I agree with your scales, I mean your point. I think we've been lost in this consumption of power. We've been lost in this consumption of energy. It's just gotten away from us. It's gotten away from us. And I don't know that that's the root cause, but I know that we have to pull ourselves back within what our ancestors used to call living within our means. I think that's where we gotta go. I'm gonna have to get out of here, y'all. It's late. I gotta go home. I have no idea what I'm making for dinner. I have no idea what the hell I'm gonna eat today. I've been eating bad today. I've been eating bad. That's a bad thing too, because all this pollen out here. I really should be making a smoothie. I know I got some greens at home. I might make a smoothie. You know, I'm eating bad because I'm telling on myself. See my blueberry Cheerio? I had to have it. I had to try it. But that's my dessert. That's my dessert. I won't put sugar in it, but that to me, that's a dessert. Blueberry Cheerios. I had to try it. This is the first box I ever had. I had to try it. I think I'm gonna tell myself real quick. That's why I'm here. I'm gonna look at the ingredients. But don't it look so good? Come on, y'all, look at that. Look at that. Oh, come on. How can you not get some daggone blueberry Cheerios? I saw the blueberry box because I grew up, we didn't eat Cheerios by themselves. We used to dump all that sugar in there, dump all the carcinogen in there. And I saw that box at the grocery, like, oh, I gotta get that. I didn't read the ingredients. I'm about to get in trouble right now. Let's look at the ingredients. What we got here? Whole grain oats. Okay, not bad. Next ingredient, sugar, carcinogen. Next ingredient, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Oat bran, Next ingredient, blueberry puree concentrate. Cornstarch, nope, that's all GMO. That's pesticides. I'm getting my pesticides and my herbicides. It's working with the sugar and the carcinogen piece of that. Canola, which is all GMO. Canola oil, that's all soy and GMO. Not only is it in malformed soy, but it's also full of all of the pesticides they sell with. The next ingredient, salt, which is not too bad. Next ingredient, more corn syrup, more cancer. More. I'm not helping your healthcare costs, y'all. Just let y'all know that right now. I'm not. Right now, you can't afford healthcare because I hadn't bought some blueberry Cheerios. Let me see, vegetable. I don't know what vegetable is. Why would you just have the word vegetable? And fruit juice, color. Ugh, what the hell is fruit juice color? Why would you have fruit juice color? Why not just fruit juice? Oh, because they want to make it blue so dummies like me eat it? That makes sense. Okay. Then we got some trisodium phosphate. Doesn't that sound good? Doesn't that sound like rising healthcare costs? Natural favor. Vitamin E mixed tritocoseriphenols. Yeah, I shouldn't be eating this. Added to preserve freshness. Ooh, you don't add anything to preserve freshness. Did y'all hear what the Undertaker says that the humans now, they just help us out. That by the time y'all get here and you die, you're already 30% preserved anyway. So they're saving money. The morticians are saving money. They don't have to buy as much embalming fluid. That you're helping their industry. Good job, guys. Good. All right. Let me get in trouble with. I had to try it, but now I hadn't read it. It's too. Oh, look at that! Look how nice the label is too. They tell you it's all the good stuff. No artificial flavors, no colors, no artificial sources, and it's gluten free. It's still gonna kill you. That's my dessert. Human body can take abuse and tolerance, and I still haven't been sick. I haven't been sick. Been over 10 years now. I have not been sick. So whatever I'm doing, I'm fine with. It's working to me. Like I said, don't let other people tell you what to eat. What is healthy? Healthy is what you eat and when you don't get sick. If you don't get sick, keep eating what you eat. Don't listen to nobody. If you get sick all the time, you're getting the colds and flus and all of that stuff, you got something wrong. Your body is trying to tell you, help me, help you. That's your alert system. When your body coughing and sneezing and all of that crazy stuff, that's your body saying, help me, help you. You're eating too much trash. Stop putting trash in me. Listen to it, because your body's trying to tell you that one day cancer is going to come along and you're not going to be able to catch it in time because it couldn't catch it in time because it was having trouble with the common cold. If your body has trouble with the common cold, that's a hint. Your body saying, help me, help you. Dummy, we're going to die if I get cancer because I can't even deal with the basic common cold stuff. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Read the labels. Yes. Like brother Steve said, read the labels. Read the labels, but I don't read the labels when the first time of something I want. Steve, I didn't read that label. I just read that label right there live, but I did not read that label at the store. I was like, I saw the package. It was blue and everything. I got that feeling of blueberries and stuff. I didn't read it till just now. Hang on, I know there was a comment I missed. Brother Sean. Brother Sean said something. I saw him come in the house. So I want to make sure I read at least one of his comments. Did I read that comment from everybody? I want to make sure I read at least one comment from everybody. Is it skipping ahead for a bit from the time or do I need to adjust my dosage? I don't know. Maybe they were playing with it, Sean. They do that sometimes. Sometimes I think if they skip ahead, they can listen to what you're going to say. So, and I don't think it's a person. I think it's all software. Like, I think it listens ahead. And if it hears things like vaccine and that, it kind of pans in on it, and it can just reduce how many pages it gets advertised on, reduce how many feeds it appears on. It can take notifications back. I think all of this stuff is just, it's really passive. I don't think there are people like watching. I think they just have software. And it's not conspiracy to me. It's just, the Global Alliance determines what's true news, what's allowed on Facebook. So, however the Global Alliance, that's what I do. And I'm not the smartest book in the block. I'm not the smartest book in the library, so I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. Basic software. Was there a prize at the bottom? Oh, you know what? That's a good question. Who asked that? Was there a prize? I don't think they did. They still do that? No, I think they still do that. No prize. But look. No prize, but it can help lower your cholesterol. There you go. That's the prize. Surprises, you get cancer and it helps lower your cholesterol. Meanwhile, you got good and bad cholesterol. I wonder which one. All right. I gotta get out of here. Oreos. I'm a sucker. Yeah, Daniel, don't mess with them Oreos. Was you upset? I was upset, Daniel. I was upset with the daggone mean people today. They failed. Y'all failed. Y'all suck. All my mean people, I'm upset with y'all. Y'all didn't make it today. Y'all was supposed to be on that Benny Carson Oreo thing. Oh, like just hot on rice. You should have been on that. Like chicken and rice, peas and carrots. You should have been on it. Peanut butter and jelly. Oh, y'all should have been on. They sucked. They failed. They totally failed. Somebody said that the left, they lost their sense of humor. I don't know. I was upset though. I expected to see some really funny memes today, and I didn't see any. They just let that one slip right through the cracks. But I guess that's the problem. You bite into this hate the president stuff. It makes you just all serious and stuff. Man, we supposed to be laughing at the old system, bringing in the new. They completely failed on that one. They completely failed. They missed the whole boat. The man, she said Oreo, and she was like, Oreo? Somebody said Oreos. I'm getting hungry. Did you bring some Oreos? We're gonna pause for a minute. The hearing gonna stop. We're gonna eat some Oreos. While he was sleepy, he was hot. I'm sorry, I get in trouble with it, but he was high. That dude, Carson, I don't think he's that sleepy. I think that man is a junkie. All right, now you be mad at me. I got it out. I'm done with that. We spend a lot of time and money deciding which things make you want to buy. Yes, don't they, Nikki? Blue is very appealing color, and they have focus groups to test. Yes, thank you. They do that. They play with us because we remember the Fruity Pebbles and the Fruit Loops and all those things. We see the color, and like they play us all the time. Who wrote that book, Nikki? It was Food Rules. The guy who studied the food system, Michael Pollan. He studied the food system, and he explained that they're always ahead of us. They know what's coming. They know how to fool you. All the Rothchild food companies get together and they tell us what's going to happen next. And they get some doctor who say, I don't know, okra is healthy or something. And they're like, all right, he's going to come out and say okra is healthy and oats have been killing people. So everybody get ready with their okra ads. And everybody gets to start drawing pictures of okra on their boxes. And just one one whistleblower just come forward and like, listen, y'all don't eat that okra. That mess will kill you. It'll make you vomit up all that good stuff in the blueberry Cheerios that lowers your cholesterol. Don't eat that mess. But they always work together because they make money and they keep playing us against each other. Put an oak leaf, put a fig, put people sitting in the grass outside, put some trees, and it says all natural. There ain't nothing natural in it, it's all chemical. Read the ingredients. They fool, yes, Daniel, they fool us. They fool us good because we're fools. We need to embrace the foolishness. We're just fools. We're just 98% monkey, y'all. 98% monkey, and we're just being played around because they use that psychology against us. All right. Scary ingredients. Yes, Angela, don't ever eat the blueberry Cheerios. That was an experiment. I ate that for you, Angela. No, I didn't. I ate that for me. I was being greedy. I saw the box, Angela. I gotta have it. I knew if I read it, I wasn't gonna like what I saw, but I just got it anyway. You know the funny thing is when I'm out there shopping with my kids, they get me. That's why I can't shop with them little punks. I can't shop with them. I've been making them read ingredients their whole life, right? So we're at the checkout counter. What did I get the other day? I got barbecue chips like a month ago or something. I got some barbecue chips and my son was like, hey, Dad. He got his deep voice, my middle son. And my youngest, hey, Dad, can I see the ingredients? And I was like, no, you can't see nothing, man. You better stay in your lane. What you got? He had a smoothie. He had a healthy smoothie, and here I am with some barbecue Lay's potato chips. He's like, Dad, can I read them ingredients? I was like, no, I'm gonna get this. I'm grown. I'm old enough. I can get this. I can't go shopping with them anyway. All right, listen, I gotta get out of here. Y'all have a great day. Love y'all to death. Thank you for hanging out late. Gotta get away from Planet Rothchild. Gotta be strong again. Gotta be strong. The only way you do that is you go back to being independent. Y'all have a great night. This is Gerard. I am out of here. Bye-bye. Oh, that's the wrong daggone button. What the hell wrong? The dang audio-visual team messing this up. I'm supposed to disappear, not the whole daggone background. Oh, the whole never mind. We good. Never mind. Bye.